At 9 years old, I immigrated from the Ukraine with my mom with $8 in our pocket. It was just the two of us, and we lived in Brooklyn, as many had at the time. And, we were in government housing, and it was just scarcity is not even the word. So we lived on $20 a week on groceries. Like that I remember being kind of like a fixed amount. So very early on learning, the value of work and the dollar and what it means to survive. And, plan B is making plan A work. Like that's the survival mechanism and the mentality. So that obviously stays in the grit and all of the resilience and all the other things. But interestingly, she was a technologist. Despite language barriers, she was able to get to work right away and start to, contribute to a life anew. And she was very technical. And so it was the dot-com era. Like that was the most prized skill set beyond the traditional ones. And so she was able to become operational, if you will, right away. And so I kind of had technology in my home earlier than most. And we had a PC at a time when, most didn't. And so everybody came over to play those good games. And it just was I was enthralled by it all. And I became curious just because I had access to it, through her. And so, of course, first generation has to honor the parent, had to live up to it all. And so I followed suit and I pursued a similar degree of my own. And just kind of, being in the Northeast, you get sucked into banking, financial services, insurance. And so I kind of click-clacked my way around all of those, a little bit of SaaS, a little bit of MarTech. But early days, MetLife specifically was where, the early side of my career began. And, oftentimes I was the only woman among the very few because I was always sitting on the tech side. But so was she. And so she kind of normalized that for me in a way that didn't feel revolutionary, didn't feel different. It didn't feel like, wow. It was kind of like, yeah, you're here, I'm here, we're all doing the
just
work. What's the difference?
Yeah.
And so that kind of ignorance, if you will, I think bred normalcy in me that I'm in this room and as are you. And I'm at this table. As are you. What is so special between the two of us that we have to note that difference? And so I think that naivete almost helped me kind of, equalize